Hello everybody, bienvenido a todo. Welcome to Vablut with me Vablut, and we are, as you can see, we are in BeamNG.Drive again. We're doing another base model challenge, and well, the brief rundown is that I take a base model of a car that's in BeamNG.Drive and I take it around the Nürburgring, um, and yeah, that's basically it. There's not much more to it. So current recap of the top five is we have the Peugeot partner um, in fifth place. In fourth, we have the Lancia, Mercedes S-Class, long wheelbase. So it's not the 280, it's the 300, I think, or the 320. Then in third place, we have a very peppy BMW Compact, which was trashed, and I still managed to get it around like that fast. Then we have one that I didn't film, which is a Mercedes 520. That's it, yeah. Um, and then one that I did, which is another Mercedes 5 Series, but the generation afterwards, and this was a diesel, and that's currently the only time I've managed to get under 10 minutes. So I am hoping to one day beat that, but I think I'm going to need another faster car, because the cars I've been doing recently. So my last video, I did the I did the Peugeot 405, which got in at ninth, but like significantly over 10 minutes. And I also did the was it Renault Clio? Yeah, I think it was Renault Clio. Yeah, and that was even slower because I trashed that, I think. Yeah, currently the bottom of the list is a Fiat 126, which I didn't film, which I just did because I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do it. And yeah, that was like the car was a bit damaged, but it wasn't. None of the mechanicals are damaged, and it's still the slowest. So I'm expecting this Lada to be maybe another bottom five because it's slow. It's a 1.3. It's an estate. I have added a roof rack because this is literally the car my dad had when I was a kid. Oh, shudder. I think it was a Sea Reg, and I think in the UK it was called a Lada Riva. Or was it a Riva or Nova? No, I think it was a Riva. Lada Riva. I mean, oh god, already. Um, yeah, and this big chunky bit of the no, oh god, yeah. Such a terrible car. Right, let's go! I mean, my dad, literally, when we were going up hills, he used to be like, lean forward, help us get up the hill. We used to drive, like, from Birmingham down to, like, Devon, Dawlish on the coast. Horrible car. Then we'd, like, stay at a... Oh, it does not have ABS. Of course of course it doesn't. Look at it. Yeah, this bland interior, just swathes of black. I don't know if I can't remember if you had 3 seatbelts in the back. You must have done. I think one of them must have been added afterwards or something. I mean, to be fair to it, like Lada, this was like, I think this started out life as a Fiat in like the 60s, maybe earlier. No, I'd guess the 60s because I mean it is like it's boxy, but it's like modern boxy, not like immediate post-war boxy, which was like fancy curvy boxy. This is just like no nonsense boxy. So I think it started out life as like a Fiat 1100 or something like that. Maybe a Fiat 1300, and then just gradually ended up being taken by Lada as like in one of those joint ventures Fiat used to do. They did joint ventures with everyone. Literally, there wasn't anyone in the Soviet Union that didn't do a joint venture with Fiat. So they got one of these. Basically, they got like Lada, or I think in Russia it's called Vaz. They basically got them their old design, sold it to them. And then it just took on a life of its own. It just carried on in production for ages and ages, and then Russia was sort of like, well, not Russia, but like Soviet Union, sort of was like constantly looking for like capital and raising money, and so selling products into the West was like a way to do that. So they became experts in cheap car exports. And yeah, cheap car exports, very cheap. So Lada was like, I mean, in the UK, as I remember, it was always a joke. And once the Soviet Union sort of ended and the 90s came along, it kind of couldn't. There just wasn't a reason to buy a Lada. Like I think the replacement, although well, things were never fully replaced. So the replacement for this was supposed to be the Lada Samara, I think, but they sold them a lot at the same time as each other. And ooh, you know what? I'll say for it. It's rear-wheel drive, so it's actually pretty fun because like it's got that sort of. Oh, I thought I was going to roll over there. It's got that sort of silliness to it. But yeah, so I think the Lada brand in the UK lasted till like I want to say mid-90s, maybe about 95 or something. I've got a vague feeling I've seen Lada Samaras on L Regs or M Regs. Should put them about 94, I think. But like, I mean, obviously, I mean the cars were, I mean in the 80s they kind of made sense because I mean, you know, oof, ooh, this is fun. My dad's car never did this. Jesus. But yeah, like in the 80s it kind of made sense because if you think about what was available in the 80s for like cheap cars, you'd have your like real cheap cars that were like scary, like a Reliant Robin or something that like couldn't really go on a motorway, and then you'd have your ooh, this car was taking on a life of its own then, and then you'd have your weird cars. So you'd have like your Skoda Estelle, which had like an engine in the back, which obviously, I mean, just it's a weird format of car. And then you'd have this, which is kind of like, you know, I mean, I don't want to say normal, but like it was a rear-wheel drive front-engine car, like pretty standard, very cheap, probably one of the cheapest cars you could buy, that was like approaching a normal size, and then but then by the 90s, no, just didn't make any sense to do it. And then the Lada Samara itself as well was kind of like, I think it was designed by Pininfarina or something. It was designed by like someone, you know, pretty big. And like when you look at it, you're kind of like, oh, I see that someone put effort into this. But the Samara I've got a Samara, by the way, in a future video, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But like even that by the mid 90s was old-fashioned. And then I think like once they left the UK market, like in Russia and America, they did like a joint like SUV little thing. Like I think it was called like a Chevrolet Nova, and then in Russia it was the Lada Nova. Looked like a Toyota RAV4. I vaguely remember that. You sometimes see them for sale in Spain. Oh, this car does not like going uphill. Yes, thank you. I have to say I'm considering buying a wheel, but no, I can't until we've got more space. Because this desk wouldn't suit a wheel. It doesn't have enough depth to it. I don't really have space for the pedals. And if I'm going to do it, I'd want it properly, so I'd want like a clutch pedal as well. And I'd want the gear sticks so that I could like do it properly. This is another one of those cars that's deceptively like, oh wow, it's like really easy to drive, but it's like, no, it's just slow. I mean, I can't see the speed, but I'm pretty sure we're hovering around the 80 mark. I guess that's kilometers, so we're hovering around 50 miles an hour, which explains why it's so easy to drive. But yeah, when you look at I think compare this to like what is a budget car in this day and age, and that's like a Dacia, and like, you know, they're. I mean, I suppose you could actually say that like the Dacia Access isn't that far removed from this. Like it has like some mod cons, like, you know, it'll have like ABS and probably will have power steering, but it won't have a radio or aircon or anything like this, so it's not that far removed from this. If I have one objective with this, it's that I would hope I'd be able to get to, at the very least, maybe get to into the top 10. I mean, that is wishful thinking, but because the only reason I haven't crushed it is because it's slow. Whoa! Oh, fuck. I think that's cosmetic. And bear in mind, these cars are like dent like a peach. Whoa! Yeah, this is a slow car. Oi! I mean, for some corners you don't even have to brake. You just take your foot off the accelerator and it'll slow. But nevertheless, I rate these cars. Okay, right. We are going to... ...60 miles an hour. Yeah, I doubt we've been doing more than 70 for the whole way around. Maybe we'll get up to 90 on the straight, because it's got a downhill slope. Okay, we are coming up to the last hairpin. Whew. Right, I'll try and get a little snazzy around here. Oh! I am. Okay, right. Down, 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 down. I want to get it so I get a little bit of that brake smoke in. Right. So, oh, my mouse has fallen asleep. That's why. Right. I want it zoomed in like that. Yes. And I want the sun more like that. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of golden. Yeah. Okay, that'll do. Camera speed a bit more. I want depth of field. I want more. There we go, I think. Yeah, we got a little bit of damage, but I mean, it looks good to me. Ooh, look, the back wheel's coming off the ground. Not bad, not bad. Bring it down a bit, get some... Yeah, that'll do. Right. Oh, bollock. Oh, the back bumper actually took that pretty well. I was expecting the whole back end to be completely trashed. If you ever watch dashcam videos from Russia, not as popular as they were a few years ago, but I think because like it just they're so extreme that like you become numb to it. But for a few years they were like a big thing. Like, oh my god, you could like pad out an actual TV program with all of them because there were just so many. But these cars, these old Ladas pop up a lot because they are just. I mean, one, the people who drive them are not good drivers in Russia. Two, the people. The cars themselves are not safe. So like you have a crash with a modern car and it will just destroy it. Like full on roof is completely bent and you're like, that was like a 20-mile-an-hour crash. What the hell? But yeah, whenever you see one like sliding into frame from like the right or something, you're like, oh, that's going to be the cause of this crash. And probably someone's body's going to be like hanging out the side because like I don't know, maybe they don't have seatbelts in Russia in those cars. I guess modern ones do because it's a fairly modern country. But oh god, that sounding so patronising. It's a fairly modern country. I mean, they sell like literally BMW and Mercedes there, so yeah. But I guess these ones might be older than seatbelt regulations, or maybe the people who drive them just don't wear seatbelts because you see a lot of people come flying out of them. Which, by the way, you'll also see if you watch Nürburgring videos from the 70s. You'll see people come flying out of cars when they roll over or whatever. People just weren't wearing seatbelts. 7th! Oh, get in! That means I got in. I beat the Fiat 500 from 2 videos ago. Audi A3, not bad. And the Peugeot 405. And I've knocked out the Dacia Sandero estate, Logan estate um, from the top 10. Oh, get in! I'm one behind the Octavia, 1 second behind even, less than a second even. That's not bad. That's not bad. And considering I did have a little accident, I mean it didn't really damage the mechanicals, but I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy, yeah. Yeah, I'll take that. So yeah, base model challenge 1 down. So I've broken the top 10 with a Lada, a 1.3 Lada that was like serene to drive. Now let's have a look. Maybe I want something a little bit faster, something that I think could do it in under 10 minutes. Now there's a lot of stuff in this menu, but some of it doesn't work very well. Or I haven't set up a base model yet because some of them, some of the configurations, they kind of have one thing but not another, or something but not something else. So I want something. Maybe I want something more modern, something that could be capable of it just through sheer force of being a modern car with traction control and stuff. I think Opel Insignia has a 1.5 diesel, and I think I'll do that. I suspect the automatic will be slower. Yeah, let's do this. Opel Insignia versus Lada. Yeah. This is like base model, but with like should have enough grunt to maybe speed up on the straights, and maybe we could. I think it could have similar potential to the BMW. Right, let's go. Horrible colour. Not fast at all. Not fast at all. Not. Yeah, this feels like a modern car. It's very planted. You can do a lot with it. But immediately it's a bit soulless. Oh, that was close. That was bloody close. Come on. Oh, I hate when the reflections are set up wrong. Reflecting everything off the floor. It's the price you pay when you... scour the internet for BeamNG.Drive mods. Now, see, the thing about modern cars is they don't feel like they're going fast, even when they are going fast. So, I don't know how fast I'm going, because I can't see the bloody dials, but I assume, as I was like full pelt on the accelerator, even with this diesel, I must be doing at least like 80 miles an hour. I don't know why this car doesn't have a speedometer on the when I go like this. Oh yeah, listen to that wind noise. Oh, I'm going fast. I think this is quite a handsome car. I'm sad that like cars are dying and being replaced by SUVs completely. I mean, I'm sure they'll come back into fashion again. Ooh, got around this corner, but still, I just kind of I just hoped that like this kind of car could have lived. When you were a kid, when I was a kid, I always remember thinking like, you know, there'll be a Mondeo. I wonder what Mondeos of the future will look like. Well, they don't make Mondeos anymore. What will Vectras of the future look like? Well, they don't make Insignias anymore. Oh, I think this is still. I think this might still actually be on. No, I don't think it is. No, because I think it launched in like 2018. It's like 7 years old already. So no, I don't think they'd still be making it. It might have even launched in 2016. I think I vaguely remember reading something about the next Insignia being an SUV that's like electric. But that's what they say about every car name. It's like, oh, this car is dying and being replaced by a completely different type of car, but we'll keep the name. Like, okay. But like, yeah. As bland as the Vectra always was, and like poorly compared to the Mondeo, I always loved them. I preferred them. The first gen Mondeo I loved, because that came out at the tail end of the Cavalier, and I actually loved the Cavalier, the second gen Cavalier, or second, what was it? Third gen Cavalier, third gen Cavalier, first gen Vectra. That's it. For Europeans, it was the Opel Vectra, the first Vectra. For British people, it was the third gen Cavalier. And I loved that Cavalier. I always wanted my dad to have one because he had a second gen Cavalier. Horrible white. If you're in the UK, because I think this is probably a UK only trim, because it was a Vauxhall branding thing. It was a they called it the Club, and it was like a trim that was like pure white. Everything on the car was white, with like grey and yellow inserts. Very 80s. Very 80s. Looked awful. And then my dad had one of those. And I always wanted him to get like one of the late Cavaliers. Late Mark IIIs, just before they were replaced. When they were still, I think they were still available on the M-Ridge and the N-Ridge. I think they even had like passenger airbags and stuff by then. But I always wanted one with like, I think they had like 16-inch alloy wheels. You could get them in like a champagne colour or a purple colour that I used to love. Always wanted one. Nope, we got a Carlton instead, which was great, but it was like the older Carlton, so not the Omega. But yeah, whenever I used to see a Mondeo when I was a kid, that first gen Mondeo, I was like, oh, it's modernity. I'm pulling to the left, so if you're wondering what the hell is he doing with his steering wheel, that's why. But it's funny how things go. Like back then in the early 90s, it was like, oh, curves. Oh my god, it's got so many curves. Isn't it like amazing? And now it's like, oh, it's got like lots of straight edges. Isn't it modern? Isn't it amazing? Not that I really know what Ford make anymore. I think the Focus is discontinued, or it's still soldiering on, but it's going to be discontinued soon. Puma is kind of, it looks alright to look at. But again, another sort of like dead name for a coupe that was brought back as an SUV. Fiesta's gone. No more Mondeo. So what is there? There's the Cougar, I think. I think I still see some Cougars about. Yeah. very anonymous looking car actually. To be fair, I've seen a Ford Explorer that I think is like, I don't know if it's like the same as the North American spec because it's very small. Here it looks like just a sort of regular sized SUV, but the old Explorers used to be huge. I've seen them. I don't know if it's an import or if they officially sell them here, but oi, come on. I have to say, I'm not getting the sense I'm going around faster than that Lada, but I know I must be because this car, even if it's bigger and heavier and has like a 1.5 diesel, it's turbocharged and it's like a modern car, so it's efficiently getting its power to the wheels. And it's very refined. Like, there's not much engine noise coming in here. Oh, don't change camera views when you are looking at them. When you're having to hold the steering wheel, Luke. The most disorienting thing you could possibly do. Oh well. Yeah, this is a bit of a soulless car to drive, I have to say. It's got like, it has that kind of thing where when you get around a corner properly, you still don't feel much achievement from it because you just think the car just did it for you. Oh, that sound is horrible. Come on, car. It's also the first car in a while that hasn't felt like it was struggling to get up the hill. Doesn't matter where are you, beautiful people. There we go. Now, come on. Luke. Trying to show off with a bloody skid when your car's a mess. Can't even drive in a straight bloody line, but you're showing off. Typical male behaviour. Oof. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. With this said, I do like a like I said, I like a sort of family hatchback, like large family hatchback. So like mid-90s, you know, Nissan Primera, Toyota Avensis. Even that first gen Avensis I loved. Toyota Carina was the one before as well. I used to love them as well. Honda Accord, although I don't think a Honda Accord was ever a hatchback, but it was a saloon. Similar to the 406. Very snazzy cars. Citroen Xantia. Oh no, I didn't take a photo. I'm going to have to get one on the straight then. Well, I'll take one on the straight, but I don't think it'll look very good. Then I'll take one in the corner just before the second from last corner. Well, we're not going to get the 10 minutes, under 10-minute mark, are we? Oh! Oh, that's why. I've got like the entire back miss here. And you can see what a great model this is. It's completely missing the rear bodywork. I am not one to judge, though. Certainly not. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, choo, 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 choo. I am not out here making mods, so what can I make? What can I say of those who do make mods? Can't demand they do them better for me. Okay, yeah, I'll try and cover up that big bumper being pulled in the way. Right, so field of views about there. Yeah, we want the car about there. Camera speed up. We want dun, 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 dun. Ooh, that's lovely. I think that's nice. It's a mess, but it'll do. And then we'll try and take another one once we get to the end. Well, we're not going to beat that 5 Series. Although to be fair, that had like a 2-litre diesel, and we've got a 1.5. Also, to BMW, you kind of expect it to be fast. Ooh, I need to start rethink what car might be. This might be the best base model I've got, other than that BMW. Oh no, I have other BMW base models actually. I don't know why I haven't done them. There's some 3 Series I can do. Oh, whilst they're not, they should be pretty sprightly and fast. I'm about to smash right into that wall. I can tell you now, I'm about to smash right into that wall. Right now, I can tell you. Down, 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 down. Some nice camber action. Right, depth of field controls we want. Far blur. We want that to be blurry. We want this to be blurry. Now we want focus to be. Oh, we want aperture to be like that. Ooh, that's better. Right. Pray for me. Oh, okay, that was okay. Oh, we're just gonna come in a smidge over 11 seconds, I think. That's not bad. Third! Third! Get in! Get in! Although that now makes me feel pretty bad. 11 minutes can be third. So it's only with 5 Series I've managed to get under 11 seconds. That's terrible, that is. Right. Let me think. Let me turn on the game. That beeping is annoying. Well, top of the list remains the BMW 5 Series. But we now have a new top 5. In 5th position, we have the Mercedes long wheelbase S-Class. The W140, which is the best S-Class. In fourth place, we have the primo little BMW 3 Series compact little 1.6. Very which to be fair, I trashed that car and it still got pretty decently. And then we have the Insignia um, B, second gen Insignia, and it's a 1.5 diesel turbo, which I think did fantastic, actually, to be honest, for a 1.5 diesel. I mean, I know it's a turbo, it's still 1.5. And we got within 35 seconds of the BMW 520i, which is the base model of the sort of, I think, fourth gen 5 Series. And then of course, we have the 5 Series diesel, which remains untouched. But I do want to make a shout out to my Lada, which is still in the top 10, hanging in at number 8, because that was fun, and that was actually a really great experience because it brought me back to when I was a kid in literally that trim. Exactly like that. That color, red, those wheels, steel wheels, no hubcaps, no nothing. Um, those bumpers, those headlights. I mean, the grille might have been a bit different because I think the UK spec ones had more of a square shape, if I remember. And even the bumpers may have had a bit more black compared to silver, but there was a silver strip in there somewhere. But yeah, even that roof rack down to the details of it. So I had fun, and I hope you'll join me for another one. And I'll maybe try and get something newer and faster as well because I'm liking getting close to sub 11 minutes. So far only achievable with like fairly good BMWs. So my ambition is to get sub 11 minutes in something that's not a BMW and sub 10 minutes in something that's not a BMW. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hasta luego.